Greetings everyone, my name is Gigi, and this is Let's Build, wherein I build a Lego set timed to different media and talk about the facts concerning the topic of the build. Today's build is the Lego City Yellow Delivery Truck versus American Truck Simulator. The footage I am using from this game is for science, educational, and research purposes. My content is transformative and protected under fair use. All footage is time-lapse with commentary. Specifications of the Lego set. Here's the ultimate toy truck for Lego fans. Delight your little builder with the Lego City Yellow Delivery Truck toy playset for ages 8 and up. Featuring a Lego truck with large trailer, pallets of playsets, a functioning toy forklift truck, and a hot dog stand. Just add the 4 minifigures for hours of imaginative play and storytelling. This Lego semi-truck and trailer playset includes a step-by-step printed building guide and 3D instructions in the Lego Builder app, a digital building companion with intuitive zoom and rotate tools that enable kids to visualize models from all angles as they build. Lego City sets make great birthday or holiday gifts for kids, with cool toy vehicles, realistic structures, and fun characters that inspire play without limits. Children can add this Lego City truck toy to others, sold separately, from this range to expand the world of creative possibilities. Toy truck set for Lego fans. Delight your little builder with the Lego City Yellow Delivery Truck playset for ages 8 and up. What's in the box? Sorry, I had to do that. Every time I see that phrase, I gotta do it. This fun toy building set includes everything kids need to create the Lego City Yellow Delivery Truck, toy forklift, and hot dog stand, plus 4 minifigures. A toy vehicle for Lego enthusiasts. Kids can open the side panels of the Lego truck's trailer and use the forklift to load the pallets of toy Lego sets into the cargo bay. Minifigure accessories. This toy truck and trailer set comes with accessories for pretend play, including Lego boxes, 2 hot dogs, ketchup and mustard, and tools. Dimensions. The truck with trailer is a 1,061-piece Lego City set, measures over 4 inches high, 18.5 inches long, and 2.5 inches wide. The instruction booklet goes right into the build without any fanfare. A semi-trailer truck, also known by a wide variety of other terms, is the combination of a tractor unit and 1 or more semi-trailers to carry freight. A semi-trailer attaches to the tractor with a type of hitch called a fifth wheel. Regional configurations. Europe. The main difference between tractor units in Europe and North America is that European models are cab-over-engine, COE, called forward control in the UK. While the majority of North American trucks are conventional, called normal control or bonneted in the UK. European trucks, whether straight trucks or fully articulated, have a sheer face on the front. This allows shorter trucks with longer trailers, with larger freight capacity, within the legal maximum total length. Furthermore, it offers greater maneuverability in confined areas, a more balanced weight distribution, and better overall view for the driver. The majority disadvantage is that for repairs on a COE truck, the entire cab has to hinge forward to allow maintenance access. In Europe, usually only the driven tractor axle has 2 wheels, while single wheels are used for every other axle on the tractor and the trailer. The most common combination used in Europe is a semi-tractor with 2 axles and a cargo trailer with 3 axles, one of which is sometimes a lift axle, giving 5 axles and 12 wheels in total. This format is now common across Europe, as it is able to meet the EU maximum weight limit of 40,000 kilograms, or 88,000 pounds, without overloading any individual axle. Individual countries have raised their own weight limits. The UK, for example, has a 44,000 kilogram or 97,000 pound limit, an increase achieved by adding an extra axle to the tractor, usually in the form of a middle underpowered lifting axle or midlift, with a total of 14 wheels. The lift axles used on both tractors and trailers allow the trucks to remain legal when fully loaded, as weight per axle remains within the legal limits. On the other hand, these axle sets can be raised off the roadway for increased maneuverability or for reduced fuel consumption and tire wear when carrying lighter loads. Although lift axles usually operate automatically, they can be lowered manually even when carrying light loads in order to remain within legal or safe limits when, for example, navigating back-road bridges with severely restricted axle loads. When using a dolly, which generally has to be equipped with lights and a license plate, rigid trucks can be used to pull semi-trailers. The dolly is equipped with a 5th wheel to which the trailer is coupled. Because the dolly attaches to a pintle hitch on the truck, maneuvering a trailer hooked to a dolly is different from maneuvering a 5th wheel trailer. Backing the vehicle requires the same technique as backing an ordinary truck-full trailer combination, though the dolly or semi setup is probably longer, thus requiring more space for maneuvering. The tractor/semi-trailer configuration is rarely used on timber trucks, since they use the 2 major advantages of having the weight of the load on the drive wheels, and the loader crane used to lift the logs from the ground can be mounted on the rear of the truck behind the load, allowing a short, lightweight crane to reach both ends of the vehicle without uncoupling. Also, construction trucks are more often seen in a rigid plus mid-axle trailer configuration instead of the tractor/semi-trailer setup. Nordic countries. Denmark and Norway allow for 25.25 meter or 83-foot trucks. In Sweden, the allowed length has been 24 meters or 79 foot since 1967. Before that, the maximum length was unlimited. The only limitations were on the axle load. What stopped Sweden from adopting the same rules as the rest of Europe when securing road safety was the national importance of a competitive forestry industry. Finland, with the same road safety issues and equally important forestry industry, followed suit. The change made trucks able to carry 3 stacks of cut-to-length logs instead of 2, as it would be in short combination. They have 1 stacked together with a crane on the 6x4 truck and 2 additional stacks on a 4-axle trailer. The allowed gross weight in both countries is up to 60 tons. 59 long tons, 66 short tons, depending on the distance between the first and last axle. In the negotiations starting in the late 1980s, preceding Sweden and Finland's entries into the European Economic Area, later known as the European Union, they insisted on exemptions from the EU rules, citing environmental concerns and the transportation needs of the logging industry. In 1995, after their entry to the Union, the rules changed again, this time to allow trucks carrying a standard of CEN unit of 7.28 meters or 26 feet to draw a 13.6 meter or 45-foot standard semi-trailer on a dolly, a total overall length of 25.25 meters. Later, B double combinations came into use, often with one 6-meter or 20-foot container on the B link and a 12-meter or 40-foot container or two 6-meter containers on a semi-trailer bed. In allowing the longer truck combinations, what would take two 16.5-meter semi-trailer trucks and one 18.75-meter truck and trailer to haul on the continent now could be handled by just two 25.25-meter trucks, greatly reducing overall costs and emissions. Prepared since late 2012 and effective in January 2013, Finland has changed its regulations to allow total maximum legal weight of a combination to be 76 tons, 75 long tons, and or 84 short tons. At the same time, the maximum allowed height could be increased by 20 centimeters or 8 inches. From the current of 4.2 meters to 4.4 meters. The effect this major maximum weight increase would cause to the roads and bridges in Finland over time is strongly debated. However, longer and heavier combinations are regularly seen on public roads. Special permits are issued for special cargo. The mining company Boliden AB have a standing special permit for 76 tons combinations on select routes between mines and the inland and the processing plant in Boliden, taking a 50-ton load of ore. Volvo has a special permit for a 32-meter steering B trailer and trailer combination carrying two 12-meter containers to and from Gothenburg Harbor and the Volvo Trucks factory, all on the island of Hisingen. Another example is the ongoing project En Trave Till, or One More Pile, starting in December of 2008. It will allow even longer vehicles to further rationalize the logging transports. As the name of the project points out, it will be able to carry 4 stacks of timber instead of the usual 3. The test is limited to Norrbotten country and the European route E4 between the timber terminal in Överkalix and the sawmill in Munksund. The vehicle is a 30-meter long truck-trailer combination with a gross weight exceeding 90 tons. It is estimated that this will give a 20% lower cost and 20 to 25% CO2 emissions reduction compared to the regular 60-ton truck combinations. As the combination spreads its weight over more axles, braking distance, road wear, and traffic safety is believed to either be the same or improved with the 90-ton truck trailer. In the same program, the 2 types of 76-ton combinations will be tested in Dalsland and Bohuslän counties in western Sweden. An enhanced truck and trailer combination for use in the forest and B-double for the highway transportation to the mill in Skoghall. In 2012, the Northland Mining Company received permission for 90-ton combinations with the normal axle load for use on the 150-kilometer route carrying iron ore. As of 2015, the longest and heaviest truck in everyday use in Finland is operated by transport company Kitosen Kuljetus as part of a pilot project studying transport efficiency in the timber industry. The combined vehicle is 33 meters long and has 13 axles and weighs a total of 104 tons. Starting from the 21st of January 2019, the government of Finland changed the maximum allowed length of truck from 25.25 to 34.5 meters. New types of vehicle combinations that differ from the current standards may also be used on the road. The requirement for combinations also include camera systems for side visibility and an advanced emergency braking and lane detector system, electronic driving stability system, and electronically controlled brakes. For North America, in North America, the combination vehicles made up of a powered truck tractor and one or more semi-trailers is known as simply semis, semi-trailers, tractor trailers, big rigs, semi-trucks, 18-wheelers, or semi-tractor trailers. The tractor unit typically has 2 or 3 axles. Those built for hauling heavy-duty commercial construction machinery may have as many as 5, some often being lift axles. The most common tractor cab layout has a forward engine, 1 steering axle, and 2 drive axles. The fifth wheel trailer coupling on most tractor trucks is movable fore and aft to allow adjustment in the weight distribution over its rear axles. Ubiquitous in Europe but less common in North America since the 1990s is the cab-over engine configuration, where the driver sits next to or over the engine. With changes in the U.S. to the maximum length of the combined vehicle, the cab-over was largely phased out of North American over-the-road service by 2007. Cab-overs were difficult to service. For a long time, the cab could not be lifted on its hinges to the full 90-degree forward tilt, severely limiting access to the front of the engine. As of May 25, 2016, a truck could cost $100,000 US, while the diesel fuel cost would be around $70,000 US per year. Trucks average from 4 to 8 miles per US gallon, with fuel economy standards requiring better than 7 miles per US gallon efficiency by 2014. Power requirements in standard conditions are 170 horsepower at 55 miles an hour, or 280 horsepower at 70 miles per hour, and somewhat different power usage in other conditions. The cargo trailer usually has tandem axles at the rear, each of which has dual wheels, or 8 tires on the trailer, 4 per axle. In the U.S., it is common to refer to the number of wheel hubs rather than the number of tires. An axle can have either a single or dual tires with no legal difference. The combination of 8 tires on the road and 10 tires on a tractor is what led to the moniker 18-wheeler, although this term is considered by some truckers to be a misnomer. Many trailers are equipped with movable tandem axles to allow adjusting the weight distribution. To connect to the second of a set of doubles to the first trailer, and to support the front half of the second trailer, a converter gear known as a dolly is used. This has 1 or 2 axles, a fifth wheel coupling for the rear trailer, and a tongue with ring hitch coupling for forward trailer. Individual states may further allow longer vehicles, known as long combination vehicles or LCVs, and may allow them to operate on roads other than the interstates. The U.S. federal government, which only regulates the interstate highway system, does not set maximum length requirements, except on auto and boat transporters, only minimums. Tractors can pull 2 or 3 trailers if the combination is legal in that state. Weight maximums are 20 30,000 pounds on a single axle, 34,000 pounds on a tandem, and 80,000 pounds total for any vehicle or combination. There is a maximum width of 8.5 feet and no maximum height. Roads other than interstates are regulated by individual states, and laws vary widely. Maximum weight varies between 80,000 pounds to 171,000 pounds, depending on the combination. Most states restrict operation of larger tandem trailer setups such as triple units, turnpike doubles, and Rocky Mountain doubles. Reasons for limiting the legal trailer configurations include safety concerns and the impracticality of designing and constructing roads that can accommodate the larger wheelbase of these vehicles and the larger minimum turning radii associated with them. In general, these configurations are restricted to the interstates. Except for these units, double setups are not restricted to certain roads any more than a single setup. They are also not restricted by weather conditions or difficulty of operation. The Canadian province of Ontario, however, does have weather-related operating restrictions for larger tandem trailer setups. Construction, types of trailers. There are many types of semi-trailers in use, designed to haul a wide range of products. Box or dry van, bus, car hauler, intermodal chassis, dry bulk, dump, flatbed, hopper bottom, lowboy, refrigerator, reefer, and tanker. Coupling and uncoupling. The cargo trailer is, by means of a kingpin, hooked to a horseshoe-shaped quick-release coupling device called a fifth wheel, or a turntable hitch at the rear of towing engine that allows easy hookup and release. The truck trailer cannot move by itself because it only has wheels at the rear end. It requires a forward axle provided by the towing engine to carry half the load of the weight. When braking hard at high speeds, the vehicle has a tendency to fold at the pivot point between the towing vehicle and the trailer. Such a truck accident is called trailer swing, although it is commonly described as a jackknife. Jackknifing is a condition where the tractive unit swings round against the trailer and not vice versa. Braking. Semi-trucks use air pressure rather than hydraulic fuel for activating the brakes. The use of air hoses allow for ease of coupling and uncoupling of trailers from the tractor unit. The most common failure is brake fade, usually caused when the drums or discs and the linings of the brakes overheat from excessive use. The parking brake of the tractor unit and the emergency brake of the trailer are spring brakes that require air pressure in order to be released. They are applied when air pressure is released from the system and disengaged when air pressure is supplied. This is a fail-safe design feature which ensures that if air pressure to either unit is lost, the vehicle will stop to a grinding halt instead of continuing without brakes and becoming uncontrollable. The trailer controls are coupled to the tractor through two glad hand connectors, which provide air pressure and an electrical cable, which provides power to the lights and any specialized features of the trailer. Glad hand connectors, also known as palm couplings, are air hose connectors, each of which has a flat engaging face and retaining tabs. These faces are placed together, and the units are rotated so that the tabs engage with each other to hold the connectors together. This arrangement provides a secure connection, but allows the couplers to break away without damaging the equipment if they are pulled, as may happen when the tractor and trailer are separated without first uncoupling the air lines. These connectors are similar in design to the ones used for a similar purpose between railroad cars. Two air lines typically connect to the trailer unit. An emergency or main air supply line pressurizes the trailer's air tank and disengages the emergency brake, and a second service line controls the brake application during normal operation. In the UK, male and female quick-release connectors, or red line or emergency, have a female on the truck side and male on the trailer, but a yellow line or service has a male on the truck and female on the trailer. This avoids coupling errors, causing no breaks, plus the connections will not come apart if they are pulled by accident. The three electrical lines will fit one way around a primary black, a secondary green, and an ABS lead, all of which are collectively known as Susie's or Susie coils. Another braking feature of semi-trucks is engine braking, which could either be a compression brake, usually shortened to Jake brake, or exhaust brake, or a combination of both. However, the use of compression brake alone produces a loud and distinctive noise, and to control noise pollution, some local municipalities have prohibited or restricted the use of engine brake systems inside their jurisdictions, particularly in residential areas. The advantage to use engine braking instead of conventional brakes is that a truck can descend long grade without overheating its wheel brakes. Some vehicles can be equipped with hydraulic or electric retarders, which have an advantage of near silent operation. Transmission. Because of the wide variety of loads the semi may carry, they usually have a manual transmission to allow the driver to have as much control as possible. However, all truck manufacturers now offer automated manual transmissions, manual gearboxes with automated gear change, as well as conventional hydraulic automatic transmissions. Semi-truck transmissions have as few as 3 forward speeds or as many as 18 forward speeds, plus 2 reverse speeds. A large number of transmission ratios means the driver can operate the engine more efficiently. Modern on-highway diesel engines are designed to provide maximum torque in a narrow RPM range. Having more gear ratios means the driver can hold the engine in its optimum range regardless of road speed. A 10-speed manual transmission, for example, is controlled via a 6-slot H-box pattern, similar to that in 5-speed cars, 5 forward and 1 reverse gear. Gears 6 to 10 and high-speed reverse are accessed by a low/high range splitter. Gears 1 to 5 are low range. Gears 6 to 10 are high range using the same shift pattern. A Super 10 transmission, by contrast, has no range splitter. It uses alternating stick and button shifting. Stick shifts 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Button shifts for 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. The 13, 15, and 18 speed transmissions have the same basic shift pattern, but include a splitter button to enable additional ratios found in each range. Some transmissions may have 12 speeds. Another difference between semi-trucks and cars is the way the clutch is set up. On an automobile, the clutch pedal is depressed full stroke to the floor for every gear shift, to ensure the gearbox is disengaged from the engine. On a semi-truck with constant mesh transmission, non-synchronized, such as by the Eaton Road Ranger series, not only is double clutching required, but a clutch brake is required as well. The clutch brake stops the rotation of the gears and allows the truck to be put into gear without grinding when stationary. The clutch is pressed to the floor only to allow a smooth engagement of low gears when starting from a full stop. When the truck is moving, the clutch pedal is pressed only far enough to break torque for gear changes. Theoretically, semi-trucks could have diesel-electric transmission, as electric motors have better torque at 0 RPM than diesel engines, but this would significantly increase the weight of the truck itself, above the maximum legal weight for road vehicles. Lights. An electrical connection is made between the tractor and the trailer through a cable often referring to as a pigtail. This cable is a bundle of wires with a single casing. Each wire controls one of the electrical circuits on the trailer, such as running lights, brake lights, turn signals, etc. A coiled cable is used which retracts when these coils are not under tension, such as when not cornering. It is these coils that cause the cable to look like a pigtail. Wheels and tires. Although dual wheels are the most common, use of two single, wider tires, known as super singles, on each axle is becoming popular among bulk cargo carriers and other weight-sensitive operators. With increased efforts to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, the use of the super single tire is gaining popularity. There are several advantages to this configuration. The first of these is that super singles reduce fuel consumption. In 1999, tests on an oval track showed a 10% fuel savings when super singles were used. These savings were realized because less energy is wasted flexing fewer tire sidewalls. Second, the lighter overall tire weight allows a truck to be loaded with more freight. The third advantage is that the single wheel encloses less of the brake unit, which allows faster cooling and reduces brake fade. In Europe, super singles became popular when the allowed weight of semi-trailer rigs was increased from 38 to 40 tons. In this reform, the trailer industry replaced two 10-ton axles with dual wheels, with three 8-ton axles on wide base single wheels. The significantly lower axle weight on super singles must be considered when comparing road wear from single versus dual wheels. The majority of super singles sold in Europe have a width of 385 millimeters. The standard 385 tires have a legal load limit of 4,500 kilograms. Note that expensive, specially reinforced 385 tires approved for 5,000 kilograms do exist. Their market share is tiny except for mounting on a steer axle. Skirted trailers. An innovation rapidly growing in popularity is the skirted trailer. The space between the road and the bottom of the trailer frame was traditionally left open until it was realized that turbulent air swirling under the trailer is a major source of aerodynamic drag. 3 split skirt concepts were verified by the United States Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, to provide fuel savings greater than 5%, and 4 split skirt concepts have EPA-verified fuel savings between 4 and 5%. Skirted trailers are often combined with under-run protection systems, or guards, greatly improving safety for passenger vehicles sharing the road. Under-ride guard. The underride protection systems can be installed at the rear, front, and sides of a truck, and the rear and sides of a trailer. A rear underrun protection system is a rigid assembly hanging down from a trailer's chassis, which is intended to provide some protection for passenger cars which collide with the rear of the trailer. Public awareness of this safeguard was increased in the aftermath of the accident that killed actress Jane Mansfield on June 29, 1967, when the car she was in hit the rear of a tractor-trailer, causing fatal head trauma. After her death, the NHTSA proposed requiring a rear underride guard, also known as a Mansfield bar, or ICC bar, or a dot bumper. The proposal to mandate rear underride guards was withdrawn in 1971 after strong lobbying and opposition by the trucking industry, and so they were not federally mandated until 1996. That mandate did not go into effect until 98. The bottom rear of the trailer is near head level for an adult seated in a car, and without the underride guard, the only protection for such an adult's head in the rear-end collision would be the car's windshield and A-pillars. The front of the car goes under the platform of the trailer rather than making contact via the passenger car bumper, so the car's protective crush zone becomes irrelevant, and airbags are ineffective in protecting the passengers. If installed, the underride guard can provide a rigid area for the car to contact that is lower than the lip of the bonnet or hood, thus preventing the vehicle from squatting and running under the truck, instead ensuring that the vehicle's crush zones and engine block can absorb the force of a collision. In addition to rear underride guards, tractor cabs may be equipped with a front underrun protection system at the front bumper of the truck. If the front end is not low enough for the bumper to provide the adequate protection on its own. The safest tractor trailers are also equipped with side underride guards, also known as side underride protection systems. These additional barriers prevent passenger cars from skidding underneath the trailer from the side, such as in an oblique or side collision, or if the trailer jackknifes across the road, and this also helps protect cyclists, pedestrians, and other vulnerable road users. In the 1969 proposal for rear underride guards, the Federal Highway Administration indicated that it is anticipated that the proposed guard standard be amended after technical studies have been completed to extend the requirement for underride protection to the sides of large vehicles. However, to date, a side underride guard mandate has yet to ever be proposed by the US DOT or NHTSA. In Europe, side and rear underride protection are mandated on all lorries and trailers with a gross weight of 3,500 kilograms or more. Several U.S. states and cities have adopted or are in the process of adopting truck side guards, including New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. The NTSB has recommended that the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or the NHTSA, develop standards for side underride protection systems for trucks and newly manufactured trucks to be equipped with technology meeting these standards. In addition to safety benefits, these underride guards may improve fuel mileage by reducing the air turbulence under the trailer at highway speeds. Another benefit of having a sturdy rear underride guard is that it may be secured to a loading dock with a hook to prevent trailer creep, a movement of the trailer away from the dock which opens up a dangerous gap during loading and unloading operations. Role in trade. Modern-day semi-trailer trucks often operate as part of a domestic or international transport infrastructure to support containerized cargo shipments. Various types of rail flatbed train cars are modified to hold the cargo trailer or container with wheels or without. This is called intermodal or piggyback. The system allows the cargo to switch from highway to railway or vice versa with relative ease by using gantry cranes. The large trailers pulled by tractor unit come in many styles, lengths, and shapes. Some common types are vans, reefers, flatbeds, side lifts, and tankers. These trailers may be refrigerated, heated, ventilated, or pressurized, depending on climate and cargo. Some trailers have movable wheel axles that can be adjusted by moving them on a track underneath the trailer body and securing them in place with large pins. The purpose of this is to help adjust the weight distribution over the various axles to comply with local laws. American Truck Simulator is a truck simulator game developed and published by SCS Software. It was first announced as being in development in September of 2013 and unveiled at the E3 2015. It was released on February 2nd, 2016 for Microsoft Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. The game is the parallel to Euro Truck Simulator 2, the spiritual successor of 18 Wheels of Steel, and the fifth installment in the Truck Simulator series. The game is set in a condensed depiction of the United States, featuring American conventional semi-trucks and various locations across the U.S., where players pick up a variety of cargoes and deliver them to their destinations. Since its release, the game has sold over 2 million copies on Steam. Gameplay: American Truck Simulator is a truck driving simulator with business management elements. A beginning player will be directed to found a truck driving business and select a home city from which to operate that business. Upon selection of the home city, the player will own the pre-placed truck garage located in that city, which will operate as the player's home base. During gameplay, the player will select from a menu of currently available goods delivery routes to drive one of several models of the Class 7 and 8 and deliver the selected load to a designated location within a fixed amount of time. By making such deliveries, the player earns money for the player's company and experience points for the player themselves. By delivering the selected cargo to its destination within the allotted time and with the least damaged goods, the player will maximize the amount of money and experience points earned. Late deliveries or deliveries with damage will result in the player earning reduced cash and experience points. The amount of money and experience points earned commiserate to the length of the delivery in distance traveled and type of goods being transported. A beginning player will own a garage, but no trucks or trailers. The player will begin by completing quick jobs, which are goods deliveries that utilize an in-game company's trucks and trailers. Once the player has earned enough money, they then begin purchasing one or more trucks, but they may continue making quick job deliveries if desired. After purchasing a truck, the player may elect to use the purchased truck for deliveries or to go back to performing quick job deliveries. As the player completes deliveries, they will unlock skills by spending experience points to purchase particular skills upgrades. These upgrade categories include fuel efficiency, route delivery distance, carrying heavy cargo, carrying dangerous goods, carrying fragile goods, or making urgent deliveries. Players may take out loans in which they will pay back in daily installments. The money is also needed for fuel and maintenance on any vehicles or trailers owned by the player's company. When performing quick job deliveries, using an in-game company truck, repairs and other costs are paid by that in-game company and not from the funds of the player's company. The player may also use the company's money to purchase additional trucks and trailers which are held in designated slots in the garage. The player may use company funds to hire NPC drivers and pay their associated expenses, who are placed in additional driver slots in the garage. Once the player has earned sufficient money, the player may also purchase garages in other cities and hire NPC drivers to drive from those garages as well. The longer an NPC driver is employed by the company, the more experience points they will earn, thus increasing the amount of money that the driver earns from each delivery. Much like the player's experience points, the player may direct the focus of each hired driver's experience points, thereby ensuring that a particular hired driver become experts in particular skilled areas, such as hauling dangerous goods or performing long-haul deliveries. Company money may be used to upgrade garages, which will allow the garages to hold additional trucks, trailers, and NPC drivers, as well as place a reduced-cost fueling station at the garage. The company money may be used to upgrade the company's trucks and trailers, specifically by upgrading their associated liveries, mechanical and structural upgrades and changes. While driving routes, the game will direct the player to stop at designated weigh stations to determine the weight of the cargo before being permitted to proceed. When crossing the border to the state of California, the player is similarly obliged to stop at California border protection stations to have their vehicle inspected. Avoiding a weigh station or border protection station will result in the player being fined. The only exception where the California Border Protection Station can be avoided entering California is through Death Valley National Park on Nevada State Route 374 and California State Route 190 between settlements of Betty, Nevada, and Alancha, California. As a side note, I have often driven past the California border protection stations, one of which being the agricultural station on the I-15. Setting. The game is set in a condensed 1/20th scaled version of the United States. At launch, the game started off with the U.S. states of California and Nevada. Arizona was released in June of 2016 as a free update to all players. A number of other states have now been added as paid DLC. Combined with all downloadable map content, the game now covers the entire western continuous and part of the south central and midwestern regions. Map expansions are available for New Mexico, Oregon, Washington, Utah, Idaho, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Arkansas, Missouri, and Iowa as DLCs. Assuming the player has all the states available to them, the game features 240 visitable cities, including most state capitals and major cities, as well as many thousands of miles worth of in-game roads. Currently, the player may travel as far north as Bellingham, Washington, as far south as Brownsville, Texas, as far west as Eureka, California, as far east as Cape Girardeau, Missouri. SCS has stated that most future map expansions, if not all, will be at an additional cost. Development. SCS Software announced the game on the 6th of September of 2013. It was revealed at E3 in 2015. On April 11th, 2014, SCS Software announced that there will be 100 plus cities in the game once completed, though not initially, and SCS released screenshots of the game. Truck brands included on American Truck Simulator so far are Kenworth, Peterbilt, Volvo, International Trucks, Western Star, Mack, and Freightliner. More will follow. The only setback remains with the licensing of trucks from other manufacturers. SCS plans to eventually include the entire continuous United States as long as the game continues to do well. On the 26th of January 2015, SCS Software published a 1-hour video to YouTube of footage from early alpha of the game. On the 18th of December of 2015, SCS Software announced the official release date for American Truck Simulator. February 3rd, 2016, on their blog. The game was released 1 day earlier instead. The game was released for PC DVD on the 14th of December 2017. Since the game was launched, the developers have been working on new DLCs to expand the game's growing content. The most recent addition was the Iowa DLC, released July 10th, 2025. Reception. American Truck Simulator has received mostly positive reviews from critics, scoring 76 out of 100 on Metacritic. James Cunningham of Hardcore Gamer gave the game a 4 out of 5, saying, "While a little more realism would make American Truck Simulator more fun, paradoxical as that may sound, there's no escaping how fantastically playable it is." Laura Dale from Polygon rated the game an 8 out of 10, saying, "As someone who sunk countless hours into Euro Truck Simulator 2, a fresh coat of paint, an unfamiliar set of sights, and the challenge of driving on the wrong opposite side of the road left me confident that I'll be sinking just as many hours into American Truck Simulator." Andy Kelly of PC Gamer commended the game and noted that it shared the strengths and shortcomings of its predecessor due to the two games' similarities, though advised that it was not finished on launch and urged more cautious gamers to wait until it was more complete before purchasing the game. American Truck Simulator won Best Technological Solution at the 2016 Czech Game of the Year Awards, and was also nominated for Best Game, Best PC/Console Game, and Best Audio. Now, I just love how absolutely meta this Lego set is. It is a Lego delivery truck delivering packets of Legos made out of Legos. I love it. During my research, I also discovered an answer to something I have been curious about since I started driving, which is what the no engine brake road signs in the American highway system actually mean, or who they're for. Part of me thought that they were probably meant for semis, while another part of me thought that it meant not to brake by coasting, or letting your car slow down from wind resistance, as a way of making sure other motorists could see your brake lights while you're slowing down on highways. Mystery solved? Those signs are made for semis for a specific type of braking. Playing this game for the first time has given me an even bigger appreciation for our semi-delivery drivers, especially trying to navigate around corners and trying to reverse into specific areas. Total build time, 2 hours, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. You could watch Big Rig, the film, at 96 minutes and 35 minutes of Big Trouble in Little China. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Remember to like, subscribe, share, ring that bell, all the things for the YouTubes. Thank you.